I'm doing a lot of painting around my house right now, and I realized that the paint can says latex paint. So when I'm finished, am I going to have a whole house full of rubber rooms?
But I recommend.
Look, he's perplexed. Explain that latex is rubber.
I know. I was just trying to think, because I have this stuff out my shed that you could take the handles of tools and dip them in there, and then it dries, gives a nice coating. So I was thinking, why can't you invent a device
basically
for the prevention of the spread of disease that doesn't come into it, just comes in a liquid and it dries upon application?
You think
that's not really where I was going with this. Just a very simple, clever joke, for God's sakes.
I really don't want to.
We're in the political segment, so it's got to have something to do with somebody getting it.
I really don't want to discuss this with you, if that's cool.
No, we can end it.
Yeah.
Eric Massa.
Let's talk.
It's political. This is your favorite.
Let's do this thing. Eric Massa, congressman from New York, Democrat, by the way, comes out and says that he has been forced out of office by the Obama administration, specifically Rahm Emanuel, because he was the final vote in the House on health care. So this brings up a lot of things. A lot of things he said are huge indictments of the way Rahm Emanuel is running the White House and what Barack Obama
is there a problem with Rahm Emanuel?
There might be, yeah. Well, the thing is, Barack Obama has always presented himself as a pragmatist, a centrist, a leader, hope and change, yada, 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 bullcrap. He has let Rahm Emanuel become the strong arm, and he is now using the same Chicago, I don't want to say thug tactics, I'll say Chicago almost mafia tactics, or Tammany Hall tactics, or Boss Tweed tactics.
You mean
that brought him up to power.
Rahm the Club Emanuel?
Yeah, Rahm the Club Emanuel.
Doesn't this sound like a much ado about nothing?
It does so far, but I don't have the script in front of me of what he said, so I can't recount all the details completely. But here's the problem. What Eric Massa did is basically called out the administration and said, the American people don't want this health care bill. They don't want it at all. Yeah, you're... Well,
no. I'm pointing at you. I'm looking at the camera.
They don't want it at all. And he said he's going to vote against it.
What the hell is he talking about?
The health care bill. I've already said
the health care bill. I got to learn to pay attention.
Okay, that's fine. Try.
I have ADD.
Try and keep up.
Look, a quarter.
Yeah. You have ADHD. It's ADD in high def. So, anyways, I digress.
Go on. Second on my glasses.
Eric Massa is the final vote in the House against the healthcare bill. So they have strong-armed him, and he said, I'm not going to vote for this because the American people don't want it. They have said time and time and again they don't want it. It has become Barack Obama's Waterloo. It has become the albatross around his neck. They want to get it passed so badly that they're willing to drum this man out to ensure that they get enough votes in the House. They've already talked about reconciliation in the Senate. So this is what Eric Massa, these are not my words. This is not what I'm saying. This is what Eric Massa is saying, and he's a Democrat saying this about fellow Democrats.
He's not going gently into that good night, is he?
No, he's not. He's very clearly said...
He's not taking his line down.
Rahm Emanuel also approached him in the congressional gym, where Rahm Emanuel shouldn't even be because he's not a member of Congress, but he strong-arms people in congressional communities to try and get their votes, and he did this to Eric Massa. So they drummed up...
You know what it is that Eric Massa is supposed to have said?
What's that?
That got him into trouble.
What's that?
Well, he was at a wedding. Claims he had about 15 gin and tonics.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I was drinking. They always said, I was drinking. I didn't know what I was saying. And apparently someone made a comment about one of the bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And one of his staffers says, that bridesmaid. And apparently he turned and said, oh yeah, well, how about you? And that's supposedly what he said.
Wow.
And according to Eric Massa, it wasn't even that staffer that filed the complaint. It was another staffer who was uncomfortable with what he said to him, who actually...
Sure.
That's what they say. But Rahm Emanuel, according to him, comes up to him naked, butt naked in the shower.
Well, he is also... You're talking about two naked men here.
To poke him in the
sword
chest.
Fighting.
And I'm just hoping that was his finger.
That's right.
Oh!
Bazing! Brooke Fox is uncomfortable.
But seeing how well Rahm Emanuel has managed to put it to so many people, I doubt it was his finger.
I doubt he was even facing Rahm when he started.
Oh, easy! I'm getting a really bad visual here.
Let me see if I get this right. He's butt naked, okay?
In the shower.
And he's going to go and poke a guy in the chest and have an argument with him in the shower. And this occurred to him oh, okay, this is a good idea.
What
This
it
will
would-
never
it would
come
never
back
come
to
out.
bite me.
I think he thinks it makes people nervous, but what he didn't know is that Eric Massa was the senior chief petty officer in the United States Navy, and there's nothing that makes those people nervous.
See, what they
Ever.
That's
Sure
right.
that.
And what they fail to
Especially in a
understand is
sexual
that Rahm
situation.
Not even a
Emanuel,
naked guy in the shower, because those senior chiefs are used to that, brother.
That's true.
Well,
They're called
Emmanuel-
Master Chiefs.
Emmanuel is actually managing to estrange quite a few Democrats from the White House.
He is. He absolutely
His whole
is.
time, he's really estranging people.
Now, as part of my little op-ed on this, I think we were supposed to get the post-partisan, post-racial, post-Washington president when we got Barack Obama.
Sure.
I didn't vote for him. I didn't believe it. Call me crazy. But so far, it has been highly partisan. And the only bipartisanship that's going on is the opposition to the policies of this president and this administration. Then, go ahead, Brooke. No, go ahead.
I was
jump
just
in.
going to say, it ends up, no matter what, they always go into the office saying, we're going to do bipartisan.
Sure,
And
they
it
always say
ends
that.
up,
Sure they do.
you
And it
know-
ends up falling apart.
It's
Yeah,
because
so
they're liars!
Hey, hold on.
Let
What
Brooke-
I'm saying is, no. This wasn't even just Barack
Sorry.
Obama saying this, though. They were saying that this presidency was going to be transcendent. They changed the wrapper on the old Jimmy Carter model, and they expected us to buy it again. And we
You're
bought
gonna
it.
put up
maybe
with that?
maybe they thought they would, but once you,
Yes.
it's like
They
once
thought-
you,
that's the problem. They thought he did. A lot of people knew
Running
it
for
wouldn't
off-
happen.
Running for office is a lot different from governing, isn't it?
It's true.
yeah, I mean, I can imagine I can run for office and I'd end up being the biggest,
Hope and changing.
We will
No,
support you.
I'm just saying, I would
Yeah, I'd
probably
vote for
end
you.
up being, bought by,
I was going to say, what are you going to...
At least she's honest.
You know what? That's
What do
not
you-
a bad idea. Let's all run for office, allow ourselves to be bought,
Yeah.
and then resign.
and then
What are we going to do with our
and-
spines? What do we do with our
Wait a minute.
spines?
We'll leave him in here.
and get you just have to serve for friggin' 2 years, and then you get the health care. You get the Cadillac health care for the rest of your life. So
Did you stop the- did
that's
you-
why
okay.
people become, they run in it. They want to stay in there forever because
Sure,
they're
yeah.
idiots
They want
and
that
they're
pension and that
greedy
healthcare.
and they're
The government is greedy and idiots? Are you sure you're not hiding some conservative bent in there?
That's it. You give as good as you get, girl.
Yeah, go ahead. But anyways,
So
my-
do you have anybody in particular you have in mind? Left, right, center? Who does this, Brooke? Who does this? Who does this
Does
whole...
what?
I think in particular of a person.
Yeah,
that's
you just mentioned you get in office, you take all the perks. Who is doing this? Who's
every,
everybody? Everybody! Lottie-dottie, everybody!
Easy on the table,
Sorry.
killer.
I really would love to have a candidate get up there and say, well, I know I could say I'm going to be bipartisan and work with the other side, but screw them.
I'm completely full of crap.
I'd much
Screw
prefer
them.
that.
I'd have respect for that.
No,
Yeah.
and that's, you know what, we would. But Barack Obama's platform was the whole hope and change thing, and nobody ever accused George W. Bush in either candidacy of being
I just-
bipartisan.
but
Nobody said it, and he actually reached out to the other side. And Barack Obama made a big show about it, and he's post-partisan, post-racial, post-Washington. We haven't seen any one of those things, and the only thing we've seen that's post-Washington is the now Chicago-style politics
Sure.
that they're running in the White House
Did he
these
give
days.
himself? Did he say that I'm going to be post?
No, okay,
racial post.
no,
I mean,
no,
that's
no.
what people tag that onto
sure,
people.
a
I mean,
sycophantic media definitely came out and said that for him, but he didn't.
But there's a
I
lot
miss Bill
of
Clinton.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of tape. There's
I
a
know,
lot of
I
tape
love Bill
out there. There's a lot of tape out there that shows him making some verbose, broad statements about what
Yeah.
he would
I
and
need
wouldn't
to,
do.
I need to bring
And it's
people
fresh.
together. I need to, and
right.
you're right.
it's
Every
broad.
politician-
I'm
It's
talking
broad.
I'm
I mean,
talking- well, no, there's some specific stuff about transparency and whatnot. He's come out with. I'm talking about footage from 2007. That's
Yeah.
pretty fresh. That's like
Yeah.
yesterday.
We gotta go. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is, we were given a bill of sale from Barack Obama that we knew it wasn't anything fresh. It was the same old system that people
Same
had tried to
old.
sell us before, from LBJ to Jimmy Carter and now Barack Obama, and they just put a different,
I
fresh,
smell a run from Hillary.
hopey, changey wrapper on it, and it didn't work out. And it's really
We would have been a
I
lot
don't
better
even-
off with Hillary.
I don't even blame Barack Obama.
I hate to say that.
I blame the people he has put in place around him to be his fall guys and his strong arm guys. So-
I mean, I totally agree with that. I think that,
Well, Brooke agrees with me. It's time to cut the segment.
I don't kid. Okay,
Let's
we'll
put
be
it on
right
our
back with our conclusion from CovertRadio.com.